statement.
I don't have a statement, so we can fire questions.
How did the process come about, and was the decision a hard one, easy one for you?
I think, as we've said from the outset, that there was interest on all sides, so that makes the decision an easy one. This is the people that I work with. I love the people I work with. I love the challenges of the market size that we work in. We've done some good things. We have more to do, and there was a feeling of we have some things left to accomplish. We've got a great group of people that are committed to each other and to something bigger than themselves, and this was an opportunity to continue to push this forward.
Neal, we've seen countless examples, not just baseball, but all throughout sports, of managers and general managers disagreeing on certain things. What is it that works between you and Clint? Because we have not seen that in your time, the two of you together.
There's a lot of disagreements behind closed doors. We work through it. We respect each other's roles. I know I could never manage a major league team. It's a different skill set. It's a different way to go about things, and I have nothing but respect for that manager's role, and Clint Hurdle in particular in that role. So while there are a ton of disagreements behind the scenes in different areas, it's positive because we are able to talk through things. We are able to understand each other's perspectives and respect each other's perspectives, and when the doors open, we're in this thing together. I'm in here to help him do his job to the best of his ability, and he's here to help us do our jobs to the best of our abilities.
Clint, Clint just talked a lot about the model, and that he's like, when you know the model and you know what you're working with, you can sort of make things, okay, let's go. Knowing the model, knowing you talked a lot about sort of the realities of where the franchise is, I guess, what was the impetus then to stay on, knowing that you're not going to have necessarily the resources that some of your competitors are going forward, just based on reality?
Yeah, that makes part of it the most enjoyable. When we won in 13 and 14 and 15 and had an opportunity to advance deeper in the postseason, each of the last 7 trade deadlines to look to acquire players to push us over that final hurdle. The recognition of the young players that we have coming, the talent that we have on the field this year. If we invert our record against 2 clubs this year, we're a game and a half out. So while it feels at various points in times further away than we probably are, there's a lot left to accomplish here. And part of it is the challenge. Part of it is the group of people here. Part of it is this city and this fan base, and wanting to reward those that have stayed with this organization for a long time, wanting to reward those that have joined this organization, and wanting to reward those that have committed to doing everything in our power to accomplish our goals.
During the negotiations, did you look for any sort of assurances from, your bosses that maybe there will be more allocation to go out and sort of fill the holes with, maybe proven big league talent as opposed to kids that maybe can help you down the road?
Well, the allocation of the resources is on me, and how we choose to allocate what is available to us. Those are baseball decisions, and we understand what the market size is. We understand what the revenue stream is. We understand the importance of the amateur talent acquisition, the importance of our young players being balanced roster-wise, being balanced payroll-wise, and that is important to us. And we've got the assurances we're going to be able to continue to do what we've done. We're going to continue to advance, and the more revenue that's generated, the more we put into the Major League Club, and we're going to continue to operate, and we're excited about the opportunity to push this thing forward, hopefully beyond the next 4 years.
Neal, in a business with so much volatility, when this contract expires, and assuming you're here, you'll be 14 years on the job, which is nearly unheard of in professional sports today. What does that mean to you to be given that much time and to do your job well enough to stay in that position for that much time?
Yeah, if you laid odds that I was going to be here for 10 years, let alone 4, after my 3rd year, you would have won a lot of bets, and the recognition of wins and losses at the major league level is the easiest, and that's the easiest way to measure the success of an organization. Is, are you winning? We focus on putting the things in place to put ourselves in a position to win at the major league level, dominate our controllables, and the ability to have stability is important. The ability to continue to challenge our player development people to grow and to take a little bit of a different track, to take a little bit of a different track in scouting, to be willing to do things a little bit differently than others do, because if we line up and do it the same way everybody else does, sometimes resources win. Not all the time. The highest payrolls don't always make the postseason. In fact, more often than not, they don't. In terms of, as you look at top half, bottom half, you look at top 10, middle 10, so the odds give us every chance in the world of getting there, and the odds tell us that when we get there, we have as good a chance of winning as the big market teams do, as the winningest teams do. So stability is key. The opportunity to continue to develop leaders, the opportunity to continue to develop young players, that's something that we're all enthusiastic about.
How much of that feeling of having work left to do here is the fact that you guys have already done a lot of the difficult parts of moving from what was a 98 win team to a team this year that's right now populated mostly by guys that are 26 years old and younger?
Well, what allows us to be excited about the future is the present, and then that next wave of talent that's coming behind it, and the outstanding work that our amateur scouting department's done through the draft, and continuing to find ways to bring in high-level talent despite picking later in the draft. We're continuing to develop young players out of Latin America and young international players beyond just Latin America. We have a good core of young players that are gaining invaluable experience. We have another wave coming behind, and what's fun is there's another wave behind that. We're one of the few, if not the only team in baseball that has a winning record over the last 6 years, and also has been an aggregate top 10 in the farm system over the last 10 years. That means there's good things coming for us in the future as we continue to plug in young players and look to supplement them via trade and free agency. Even the best teams in baseball build from within and supplement via trade and free agency, and that becomes that much more important in these markets.
When you, Neal, think back to when you hired Clint, what did you think would work philosophically with you two, and what keeps it going for 7 years now and counting?
Two counterintuitive points. Alignment. We were aligned in so many ways in terms of player evaluation, player acquisition, player development, staff growth, staff development. We're both willing to learn and listen from varying perspectives. We have our convictions, we have our strengths, but we're willing to learn and listen, and we're willing to share differences. We're willing to voice through where we see things differently, where something that's important to him or something that's important to me may not be in complete alignment. So there's a ton of alignment, but there's also a willingness to work through where we may see things a little bit differently, and we've both gotten better because of that.
Yeah, what do you still have to accomplish? What keeps you running?
Well, the easy answer to that is we haven't won a World Series. We haven't advanced to the World Series, and so to bring this fan base a World Series championship is absolutely the easy outcome goal for us to always talk about, to always articulate. The continued growth and development of leaders, whether Jeff Bannister being in Texas is a thrill for us. Somebody becoming a general manager somewhere down the road, somebody becoming a hitting coordinator, somebody becoming a scouting director, farm director, the continued growth and development of our staff. And if we don't have the opportunity for them, the ability to go somewhere else and to impact organizations in a positive way, make the game better, have our impact on the game, and develop quality people on and off the field. That kid that never gets out of A-ball but goes and becomes a better father, a better husband, a better brother, a better son, a better co-worker, we're helping, and that's a big part of it. So there's still a lot of that left to accomplish, and we have the obvious easy outcome goal of winning the World Series, and those two are aligned, and those two are both very important to us.
Neal, when you look at things that are measurable by your fan base, attendance, TV ratings, things like that, over the last 2 years they've all taken a hit. Do you worry that some of the goodwill that you built up over those 3 years you've taken now strides back, and how do you get back to the point where, you know, this place is full and, you know, the games are being watched?
We put a team on the field that they love to come and see play, and the easy answer to that is we win more. And when we put a winner on the field, 29th largest fan base in the country, in the industry, brought us to just about league average in attendance. And as a result, there were additional revenues, there were additional monies to spend, and we poured those back into the team. And we know that to draw that next group of fans back out, we need to put a team worthy of their support on the field, and we show up every day to work hard to do that. And we know that we need to do that again. And we have a great core, an outstanding core, and we're appreciative of that. And we've got to put a good team on the field to reward them and to bring other people out. The excitement about the young players, when I first got here, you saw a lot of Clemente jerseys, you saw a lot of Mazeroski jerseys. Our goal was to put a team on the field that they wanted to wear lots of jerseys from different players, especially current players. You still see Clemente, you still see Mazeroski, you still see Sargent, and that's awesome. But now you see Garrett Cole, and you're starting to see Josh Bell, and yeah, you saw Neal Walker, and of course you see Andrew McCutcheon, and we need to give them the next wave of jerseys to buy, next group of players to cheer for and root for, but people love to cheer for a winner, and we've got to get back to that.
Do you feel like you're close to that? Do you feel like next year's a year that you can sell to fans and say, this is a year we're gonna maybe have a shot to go back to the playoffs?
Yeah, and here's an interesting point. If you'd asked the experts prior to the 2013 season where the Pittsburgh Pirates were going to be and where we're going to be a postseason team, the answer was no. You asked them before the 14 season, the answer was no. You asked them before the 15 season, the answer was no. And we won 94, 88, and 98 games, and we were a postseason team each. Had I not voted for 2 wild cards, maybe we would have been the wild card 1 and had played a 5-game series. Probably the worst decision I made was to vote for the wild card 2, although it wasn't my only vote that swayed it. Others voted for it, and it still has value. It still has legitimacy. But had there only been 1 wild card, our postseason record might be completely different. But as we look to push through this and put ourselves back in a position, we like our good young starting pitching, and it's not just the 6 guys that have pitched at this point in time. It's Glasnow, it's Brault, it's here comes King, and Mitch Keller's on the horizon. We've got some other guys coming through the system. We've got enough arms that we can put some guys in the bullpen if we have to. It's a really good young position player group that's here and under contract for a while with some other guys coming in. And while the experts may not give us a chance in 18, they didn't give us a chance in 13, 14, or 15. And realistically, according to the experts, our best chance was last year in 16. There are things that happen beyond your control. There are things that don't go the way you anticipated. There are bad decisions, and I've made some of those as well. Our goal is to minimize the bad, maximize the good, keep our players as healthy as possible and productive as possible, and put ourselves back in a position to surprise the experts in 2018. And yes, we do believe we're close.
Over the past 4 or 5 months, was there any doubt in your mind that a deal was going to get done, you'd be back here in 2018 and beyond?
No, really even all the way back in spring training, even back to the end of last offseason, both sides were clear that we hoped that there would be the opportunity to continue. This is where I've been. This is where I've poured a lot of time, energy, and effort and passion into. A phenomenal group of people. I won't say it was one-sided. If they wanted me back, I was coming back. There were some parameters, but excited about the opportunity to continue to work with such a great group of people and to accomplish what is a really hard and challenging goal.
Was part of the parameters the length of the deal? I mean, that's a pretty long contract for this organization to hand up to its manager and general manager.
It was, the parameters were more about how we continue to push this thing forward and what are the opportunities we have and what's the belief we have in how we're doing things and how can we continue to get better and how can we reward the people that have been here and that have poured so much into this behind the scenes and how do we take care of them? And we've got the opportunity to do that.